Hi everyone, we are here today with Aaron Hillis, the owner of Video Free Brooklyn. Video Free Brooklyn is one of the last few stores in New York City and the only one left in Brooklyn. So Aaron, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how long have you had the store for?
Except it's not the last one in Brooklyn. I think there are still some more. Where to begin? This was my local store. Video Free Brooklyn has been here since 2002. I actually took it over in 2012. It was my local store, and it was going to shut down. And I got very excited when signs went up saying at the end of the month we're doing a big liquidation sale, and I thought, man, I'm going to get my hands on so many DVDs to add to my personal collection, except for suddenly they weren't closing, and I had to ask an employee what was going on, and it turns out that somebody was going to buy the store. So I investigated a little further, found out it was not a failing store, just that the previous owner was living in another state, wanted to get out of here. He wasn't really a movie guy anyway. He wanted to start a catering business. So it made sense to look into it, since Smith Street at that time was the restaurant row of downtown Brooklyn, and have a loyal customer base, and it just made sense as a passion project, especially according to my lawyer and accountant.
Oh, that's awesome. And what made you want to purchase this store from the previous owner?
I mean, because I'm passionate about film, and it was a sustainable business, and that's it. It was an opportunity to be able to continue to help save film culture, as I feel like it's starting to become a niche thing, since there's not a lot of media literacy that's helping breed new cinephiles. I just don't feel like I see that these days. And back when video stores were very important to my own personal film education, I'd see a lot of, I myself was a teenager, and in my early 20s, video stores were very important to me, and now I don't tend to see that crowd. It's usually either kids in here with their parents, or like people in their like mid-20s on up.
By the time you had the store in 2012, was there still a lot of people renting in the area?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was sustainable from day one. I did not buy a failing video store.
I see. And okay, were you a frequent customer at the store before you took over?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day, every week?
Not every day. I mean, I'm a film critic, so I definitely, I'm not exactly starved for things to watch. But the things that I tend to write about are more on the indie, art house, foreign documentary beat. So I mainly use this place for my junk food movies, big popcorn movies that I wasn't covering, and still wanted to see. I'm no snob. I like all 12 and a half hours of Jacques Rivette's Out One, but I also had a great time watching Deadpool. So there it is.
You said you watched Spice World in theaters 3 times?
I did see Spice World. It's funny. I originally went, and now mind you, Spice World came out in the peak of the Spice Girls, music, their popularity as musicians, and I originally went to heckle it, but then about halfway through, I turned to a friend and was like, I don't know if I'm embarrassed or not, but I'm enjoying this. I actually think that Spice World is the closest that we've gotten to a Richard Lester Beatles movie in the more modern era, for sure.
So it's considered like a totally like one of your favorite movies or a cult classic.
It's not one of my favorite movies. I mean, I don't know what my favorite movies are, but it's very funny. It's
a good time.
It's a good time. It's I don't care about Spice Girls music. It's just
that
innocuous
bubblegum
pop. It's just a funny comedy. It's a funny, inventive comedy with great cameos from a lot of British comedians, and like I said, I have just as much fun with that as I would with A Hard Day's Night.
Oh, cool. And my next question is, how has this renting industry changed since you've seen throughout your whole life?
Well, I mean, for obvious reasons, technology has provided people with a lot of new ways to watch movies, and from iTunes to Netflix, and then Hulu and Amazon and Shudder, and all these different ways you can see movies. But I mean, those helped kill the mom and pop industry, and but here we are standing at a video store in the, now I can say, the post Blockbuster era. And we're a specialty boutique. It's certainly not the gangbusters business that it was 20 years ago or even 30 years ago. But we're definitely making a go at it, especially because most of the titles that you see on the shelf here are not available on streaming services.
Right. How's your store different from Blockbuster? Like when Blockbuster was still around, I think they were still open in 2012. But
They were still around
not in the New
2012.
York area. I don't.
Yeah,
believe.
I mean, look, because we are in Brooklyn, that most of my customers tend to be a little savvier. They read the New York Times, they read the New Yorker, and follow film critics, and go to the Metrograph Theater and the Film Forum and IFC Center, places like that. So yeah, it's not like this store would look the same as if it was in a little town in Michigan, but I think. Lost the thread there. What was the original question there?
Oh, sorry. My original question was, how would you compare this to?
To Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Well, Blockbuster. I mean, look, Blockbuster. I think they were a horrible business, and not only did they essentially create a monopoly just in their overpowering marketing that helped kill a lot of mom and pop stores, but because they were run by a conservative company, they would censor themselves. They would actually they would not allow NC-17 movies, and they also would not allow
pornography.
Well, no, unrated movies.
Oh,
so what they would
unrated.
do is, a lot of foreign films are not rated. They don't have to go through the MPAA system, and so what they would do is in-house they would cut their own versions of the movies without the permission of the filmmakers or the studios, and that's flat out censorship. And I am wildly against that. And frankly, Blockbuster was not great for film culture.
I see. So it's like when you're watching a cable movie, it always says that this movie has been modified or something like that.
Well, that usually means more like I mean, if it's on like a cable channel,
Yeah,
it's
like
probably been
TBS or
edited.
something.
It might be edited for content, but it could also mean that it's been edited because maybe it was like
in
pan
case
and
like
scan.
kids were watching.
Well, no, it could also be like the format of the screen. There's lots of reasons.
Yes.
We don't do that.
Yeah, that's great. My next question is, what influenced you to be a film enthusiast?
Film itself. I mean, that's the answer. I don't know how to answer that. Why do you like music? I mean, it's the same. It's the same. I don't know, because it's great.
It's great.
I don't know. Cinema just took hold on me very very early in life, and I've.
Do you recall what's the first movie that really got you into the film?
I don't think I have just one. I don't think I have just one. No, I think it started. I saw first movie that I can remember seeing in the theater was E.T.
E.T.
But I couldn't tell you like what were the things that really inspired me to pursue film. I think it was just more of opportunities came about, and I've always been a fan of film. I mean, what I like about it, and part of why they call cinema the seventh art, is because it incorporates all the other arts. I mean, you can have music and sculpture and dancing and literature. All that can be in film. To me, it's the ultimate medium that kind of combines all the others.
I see. And do you think that physical media is dead?
Once again, we are standing in a video store, so no, I don't think that. I think it's actually very human to want to be able to browse and pick up things and have the that tactile item in your hand. I mean, yeah, that's great. Technology allows things to be instantly accessible, but I think there's a real lack of connection. When I went into video stores as a kid, part of what I liked was talking to the film geeks behind the counter who would turn me on to cool stuff. You can't get that with a streaming site or just buying something off iTunes. Like you're just not going to have that kind of experience. I think we also are living in such an overly digital world that it's kind of natural that people rebel against that and want to go back to more analog, kind of experiences that just feel more human.
Right, more human. Everything's so limited with digital and stuff. Like you don't have a selection as big as this store. You're basically just like Netflix. They only tell you what you could watch, but they don't give you the sense or any ideas to go explore the different genres and different type of films that you would actually.
There's no joy of discovery in streaming services. Right. Period.
I see. And continuing off that question, what's your opinion on digital media and especially torrenting?
I mean, again, I think it's kind of the same answer. It's there are plenty of ways to watch movies legally and illegally as well.
Do you support torrenting? Because that's illegally downloading the movies.
I'll say this: I don't. I'm not anti-technology. I think if something is created that has some sort of beneficial use, then it's worthwhile. I have absolutely used BitTorrent, but I don't BitTorrent anything that has a commercial release available. I've definitely downloaded things that are gray market or bootleg because there's no other way to be able to see it. But anything that I can purchase a disc of,
You would prefer that?
I won't download it illegally off of BitTorrent.
So torrent is okay as long as you use it in the proper way. You don't go off.
I'm no moralist. I'm not going to answer that question in that way because that's not my place to.
Okay, that's fine. And I have a quote here from one of the things from The Gothamist.
Okay.
I would like to read it. According to The Gothamist, you said, "This is the best part-time job I've ever had. I want to share this with people, and it breaks my heart that technology is getting better, faster, and cheaper, and film culture isn't catching up with that." What do you mean by the film culture isn't catching up with that?
I think exactly that. I mean, there are all these different ways to watch things, but there's nothing that is giving people the knowledge and the experience to be able to know the difference between a Jacques Rivette film and cat videos on BuzzFeed. Like, I think that there's a younger generation that had broadband since they were young, and they don't see a difference they don't see quality, they just see content. And I think that's truly troubling because that just means that our culture is going to continue to get noisy and more fragmented, but people aren't going to have the media literacy to be able to know what's what and why quality matters, including the actual image itself. Sure, you can watch something on YouTube, but I'd rather watch it on Blu-ray.
All right, so my next question is, how can this generation adapt or learn about film culture with physical media?
I mean, physical media is the easiest way to be able to do it. I mean, you have the internet. You have plenty of people who are writing intelligently about film everywhere, from veteran film critics to younger people who just are fans who just love and want to be able to share that experience. There are plenty of ways to find out about things, but you can't really read about a film. You have to experience a film to really know what it is and how you're going to be able to engage with it. And I think physical media is just a great way that, just like books, it gives you a closer relationship to the material, because if you come into my shop to get something, you are going to spend money to rent something. You're more inclined to watch that. Whereas like on Netflix, maybe you'll watch like 20 minutes of this, 20 minutes of that. Like, there's not as much importance. It doesn't have that kind of immediacy to it. As far as why you need to watch it, unless maybe a movie's expiring on Netflix. But you know what? Movies never expire here.
Yeah. They never.
So I don't think that physical media is the only way to be able to learn about film, but I do think that there is a more direct connection between the viewer and the material when it means more to them about how they've acquired it.
I see. Since 4K Blu-ray is emerging now, do you think it is too early or too late for this format to become available? And will this store be carrying any 4K Blu-rays?
We will definitely not be carrying 4K. It's way too specialty. I think it's the same way with like 3D Blu-ray. With 3D Blu-ray, you need to have the player, you need to have the TV, and you need the actual discs. There are plenty of like comic book movies that you can get either the 3D Blu-ray or just the regular Blu-ray. More often than not, I'll just get the regular Blu-ray because there just aren't enough customers who are doing that. I also feel that that's so specialty that if people actually have the bucks to spend on a 4K TV and a 4K Blu-ray player, they're also going to have the money to be able to just buy the movies that they're going to want to see too. I don't think that they're really going to want to try to find a place that they can rent that stuff. I think those are people, those are true consumers and collectors, and I think it's more of a collector's market.
I see at this day and age, there's more DVDs in this store than Blu-rays. I think it's a lot of people just still is using DVD more than Blu-ray?
Well, I think a lot of people are watching it via laptops. I think DVD players are still just more ubiquitous. I also think that because of the format war from years ago, people don't realize how inexpensive Blu-ray players are. I think that's the main thing. I think there's still this perception that a new Blu-ray player costs hundreds of dollars.
But now it's only $100.
You can get them for less than that. You can get a brand new Sony player for $70. I mean, they're not that pricey. And there are a lot of distributors that are only releasing their movies on Blu-ray, not even on DVD. So, I'm always encouraging people. I mean, Blu-ray just looks better, it sounds better. You can fit more on there. They have more special features. And as I was saying before, the quality of the image matters. I would much rather watch something on Blu-ray than something that's streaming and is going to look chunky. Like that's terrible. That's disrespecting the work itself.
I see. Has there been any gentrification toward the store or anywhere in this neighborhood that you saw change significantly?
Gentrification. Well, I mean, we're post gentrification here. I moved to this neighborhood 15 years ago, and I could tell I was an early gentrifier for this neighborhood. I mean, this neighborhood, Cobble Hill Carroll Gardens, was way more Italian. And now you don't see a lot of the neighborhood because some of them are just getting older. I mean, frankly, some of them are dying, and I think some of them are also getting pushed out because rents are getting so high here. I mean, this neighborhood, I think it really is post gentrification. It's getting so affluent that Smith Street isn't even the same restaurant row that it was 4 years ago. Now there are very wealthy Chinese, Russian oligarchs. They're buying brownstones, and they're not even living in them because there's a tax loophole that they can actually save money if they just keep them unoccupied, which means they're also not contributing to the local economy, which means lots of mom and pop shops, lots of restaurants, even the ones that have been very popular, have just been going under, especially as landlords start to get greedier with the real estate bubble not bursting, hoping that they can get a bank or an Urban Outfitters to come and be in their building.
No, I see. Where do you see yourself and the store in 10 years?
Oh, I don't. I would actually be surprised if the store was still here 10 years from now. I just don't. I think it's too
soon.
It's too soon to know. I mean, we're already talking about an industry that has declined so much that you are currently filming me because of it. I mean, the industry is not what it used to be. There used to be video stores everywhere.
Right.
When I was a kid and I owed late fees and I didn't have enough money, I would just go and get a membership at another store until I actually had money to go back to the store that I owed to. And you can't have it these days. I'm one of the only games in town, so we offer deals and discounts to save money on your late fees, but that's not we're talking about
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we're already talking about an industry that has entirely collapsed. We are more a specialty boutique. You can put us in the same group of the gaming shop on Court Street or the mayonnaise store over in Park Slope. I don't think we're quite as niche as that. I mean, film culture is still a very, very important part of our culture, and movies are still making hundreds of millions of dollars because people are paying to go see them. So I don't see that going anywhere. But I have other things that I'd also like to do. So I'd always like to contribute to film culture and certainly spread the word, because that's one of the most important things of why I even got into the business here at this shop, is because I love film and I want to be able to share it with other people. And I feel like I can make more of a difference here than I could as a film journalist and even as a programmer, even though I think those roles are important too.
I wouldn't even know how to say that in any differently, because if you ask me, I'd probably say the exact same thing, but maybe not as sophisticated as the way you just said it. And my last question is, are there any projects you are currently working on or available for viewing?
Well, I did make. I co-directed a documentary feature 9 years ago that premiered at South by Southwest called "Fish Kill Flee," and we're because of the nature of the film, which is about commercial decay. We're actually we're trying to figure out how we're going to release it next year. Somehow as a 10-year anniversary release. I'm currently working on a project that is going to be produced in Panama. That'll be my first narrative feature. It'll be a comedy, and against my better judgment, I will be co-starring in that.
Awesome.
But I have some other projects that in the works that I unfortunately cannot talk about on camera just yet.
That's fine. I can't wait to check out some of your films in the future, and especially the one that you just mentioned you made about 9 years ago. I saw like a little preview on the website, but I rather want to see the entire thing.
Sure, yeah, it's a strange little movie. We're very proud of it.
Do you mind giving me a tour of your store?
Sure. 375 square feet. Well, it's time to move this up. It's been a month since South by Southwest, but we have a curated sampling of great indie gems from South by, including here's a couple films. I actually produced this DVD here. Aaron Katz's first 2 films, Quiet City and Dance Party USA. I have some oddball musicals down here, new to the store. We finally got in Pennies from Heaven and Aria, which isn't technically a musical, but we'll call it that.
Okay.
And then we got everything down to genres, man. We got our horror and animation. We got our comedy. We got our drama. We got classics and sci-fi fantasy and kids movies galore and action and thrillers and movies for sale.
What's your favorite section
in here?
in
A customer who does not want to be on camera and a
That's cool.
documentary section.
That's cool.
TV and Blu-rays and new releases and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! 375 square feet. That's it. That's the full tour right there.
All right. Thank you very much.
No executive washroom here.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Bet.